We had some power issues. It's going on. It's been going on a couple times lately. Just some power issues with the area. Just going to be a short chill stream today. Not gonna probably get to drums or anything like that. Most likely just gonna want to chat here and still working on some other originals that we're gonna release next week. 17. Okay. Yeah. So it's been a kind of a slow week, chill week, essentially, chill vibes for the week. But we're gonna go into it next week a little bit more energy, more songs. We've got a lot going on. Tomorrow I'm thinking of doing some morning drums. Tomorrow's not a normal day of stream, but here I am like 45 minutes in. So what's normal right now? I don't know. We've just been, like a lot of issues going on with electrical, stuff like that. So, it was frustrating, but I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I got to tell you. Tomorrow we might stream in the morning. I don't know what time. I'm, debating on doing drums, just starting off like an idea in my head that I want to get going. But Brown Hammer TV, keep your head up. Thank you. Love the content. Thank you, Brown Hammer TV, TTV, Brown Hammer TTV, televised TV. How's your gaming going? Is it good? Getting your morning games in? Oh, it's coffee. It is definitely coffee. The Philips Latte Go 4300 machine. It slices, it dices. It's a good partner. It's a good partner. I mean, I drink like a quart of coffee. This stuff is so good. You won one this morning? You won a Philips Latte Go 4300? Or you won a game this morning? Probably a game. So. Here I go, setting up a game. What game are you playing? Oh, with Laggy Haggy. Laggy Haggy. You guys are Apex Predators. Oh, that's a cool game. It's kind of like Fortnite, but for dinosaurs, right? It's like kind of has a Fortnite. Yeah, I'll see you later too. Is it kind of like a Fortnite / dinosaur / Turok type of thing? Remember Turok back in the days when that was that Xbox Turok? Was it? I don't know. Or was Turok on everything? But is it kind of like Turok? I'm so bad. I'm that guy who comes to the sports events who doesn't know anything about football. It's like, hey, did you hear about Colt Manning? And then they go, dude, what? And I'm just trying to be cool. I'm just trying to be in the lingo. Yeah, this is good coffee to have in the morning. Really good coffee. Hopefully, that's about all I drink today. Not gonna drink more than 2 cups of coffee today, I feel. I had 2 beers last night and I was done. I was so tired last night streaming. It was not in my best interest to do anything. I was just drained from weeks of dadding. Weeks worth of dadding. It was just nonstop. I had to go to a kid's party, which it wasn't bad or anything, but it was just like a lot of things packed into the week, and then on top of that, live streaming had to come, and usually it comes in the evening, which will change soon. We will change, just like the sound bites. The name is going to be changing soon. We got another name lined up. that we're going to be using. And sound bites was just kind of a placeholder while I got things going. But I've realized sound bites kind of sounds a little, I don't know, it doesn't sound, I guess just in retrospect, I could do better than that. But I like it. I mean, I opened up a Spotify for sound bites and just made placeholders all the way around just in case. So, you know, it's like a corporation. It's like they're retaining a lawyer. I was just retaining names, you know, for the time being. But yeah. But today we're just it's a chill stream today. I could just go up to the guitar real quick and tell it I love it and hold the guitar and, you know, yeah. But dude, thanks for loving the content. Yeah, keeping my head up it's definitely, at times it's demanding. It is a demanding thing, probably one of the hardest things I've done. I mean, well, let's see. No, wait. The hardest thing I've done was being a dad. That's for sure. That's number one. Then I would say the next hardest thing would be live streaming, maybe, even because of the balance of, you know, the balance that you got to find in life to do it and do the other things you love, like writing music. And then the other thing was, I mean, like the Marine Corps wasn't that hard at all. It was actually quite fun, even though the combat and all that stuff. But during my young days, combat was quite, I guess you would say, fun while I was in it. You know, I mean, not fun in the way that you should be, you know, joyful about, but, you know, you're with a bunch of dudes and you guys are like motivated and just hitting and rolling type of thing. And, or even not even that, not even the boring parts, you know. There's lots of boredom, like playing spades a lot, you know. I learned how to play spades in the military, and yeah, so that was, you know, that's a game of cutthroat right there. But mostly I would just listen to music, and some of the spots we had taken over had like cool tiled rooms where I would sing in those rooms, and I would bring like a bucket in that room and I would just like bang on it. You know, like those guys playing the bucket drums over in LA or in like DC or, you know, like Central Park and shit like that. Like that's what I was doing. People were jamming to it. It's not like anybody was like, stop that bucket hitting. It's like people were like, yeah, all the people in the unit. At some point, the higher ups, which were the officers, were like, dude, you gotta cut it down, bro. And I was, you know, they were letting me vent. Good thing, because I needed that. And I was singing some Enya type shit because it was like a tiled room with, you know how a bathroom, like a shower room. Well, this was like a slaughterhouse that we took over, where they would slaughter animals, and so that's where I was singing, in that little shower area where they would, you know, it had drains and stuff where basically all the animals could be slaughtered and stuff. And I think at some point we used one of those big rooms as a shower, which was disgusting, and the water was flooded and we were up to our fucking almost knees in other people's soot, like all the other Marines, and we all showering in this big ass fucking, it was just disgusting. Actually, that was one of the most disgusting. I'm surprised I didn't get some kind of skin condition just from that alone. Just like all these little amoebas swimming around in the water below you, probably. Just don't get your dick in that water at all. Just, you know what I mean? We had these like the Seabees, the Navy Seabees, like there's this big bladder outside with all this water in it, and it was warm because of the heat of, you know, where we were in Iraq. So all the water would come in through these tubes that they made, that they suspended on the ceilings, that were coming from this bladder. And yeah, it was disgusting. Talk about how you treat us, huh? But that's what you get when you want to live in the mud like a Marine infantry guy, you know. So whatever. I guess I You sign the fucking contract. You break it, you buy it. You bought the ticket. You knew what you were getting into. I say let them crash. That's a line from the movie Airplane, in case if you guys don't know. But anyways, yeah, today's just gonna be chill streams. Let's see if I can get. Let's see if I can get. So it was 143. 143 week is also going on next week, guys. 143 week. I love you week. I don't know if you guys remember back in the days. Certainly, many of us millennial like Gen Xers know what 143 means, because we were the ones that invented text language. We were the ones that started the whole short form text language without periods and commas and capital letters. It was us. Okay, we started that. But we would also, when we had pagers, we would use, it would be codes. So 143 was I love you. You know what I mean? And so on. There was many other codes, you know. So that, yeah, like we even had our own personal codes, you know. Like to you know, who's this person? Oh, it's blah blah blah. What number? You know, number 7. You know. Yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of how that went. But aside of that, yeah. Let's see who's getting off. Maybe some of these folks that are getting off right now. Oh yeah, no, none of these are getting off anytime soon. So I'm actually, you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to position myself well enough to get into a raid, like you know, so I'm positioned to be raided basically. That would be cool. By the way, what you're hearing right now is all my music. This is all my scoring style of music. So check it out. Check it out. And we're going to put all this music you're hearing is eventually going to migrate over to my Of the Willow Tree on Spotify. And so that should be fun when we get that going. But Of the Willow Tree on Spotify is my alter ego. And, you know, it's kind of narrowing down into that. And, you know, sometimes when you're getting like a broad picture of things and you start something and you want to just get it going and not take too much time on, that's what I was doing. I wanted to start live streaming, but I didn't want to take too much time on the kind of coming up with what's it going to be called, all that bullshit, because that could just take forever, you know. And to me, that's really not the most important component of a stream, you know, essentially. And let me just give me a little bit of a boost there. There we are. Hi. There. That's better. Now I got my little racquetball. This is my for my back. You know, after you do like a back workout or like shoulders, or even like everywhere. I use it on my legs. Like, you know. See, I just bought these shorts and I'm gonna wear the hell out of them. Like they got a green pair and a gray pair. See that this thing's great, especially for these, you know, post 40 knees, you know. Not complaining, I'm still in great shape. Sometimes even I feel like I'm in even better shape now than I was when I was in the Marines, you know, because when I was in the Marines, I was eating fucking Jack in the Box like every night. I love me some Jack in the Box though. Sometimes it's kind of my guilty pleasure, you know. Those tacos, I don't give a fuck what's in them. They're damn good. I know they're probably mostly 100% soy. But whatever, man. It's good. And then those fries, And the ranch dressing is not like a good ranch at all, but it's a Jack in the Box ranch, which goes good with the Jack in the Box curly fries. So they kind of go hand in hand. But if you were to eat that ranch without anything else, it's disgusting. It's just not good ranch. It's like too tangy. The ranch is supposed to be like more umami, you know? Yeah. So, you know, one of these days we got to do like a chill stream of me cooking in the kitchen, you know, and talking to you guys while I'm doing stuff. I saw somebody else do some cool streams like that. They were pretty popular though, so they had enough people watching to call themselves Martha Stewart. I mean, yeah, like that's just how we roll here. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna start off maybe just doing a little bit of. So I know this song's kind of sad. This I cried, and I cried. Oh, I cried. I think I can get up there. Morning voice right now. Coffee. I should get an espresso going though. See if I can ask somebody to hook that up. Or no, I'll do an espresso later. I'll do an espresso later. I'm gonna leave my cup right here. Oh, the dogs. Yeah, so let's see what we do here. The stream's been kind of, we've just been a little off schedule, and I need to have more of a daily itinerary with my streams, but that's kind of difficult sometimes, depending on, you know, what happened. My energy levels in the mornings are fucking, like, I love them in the morning. These, you know, the levels in the morning are just great. So maybe we'll just come up with something today to write. Because we didn't even change the guitar strings, and to be honest, to even go into, I mean, the strings sound actually pretty decent. So maybe I'm not going to harp on that too much on, oh, I got to change my strings, blah, blah, blah. Because, you know, one, they fucking cost money. You know, it costs money to change your strings repetitively. And so, what are we getting? What's up, Lamjet 521? How you doing, Lamjet? Thanks for the follow. Morning, Lard and Sprout. All right, we're at 30 now. 30 out of 50. 20 more to go. Saturday morning. Thank you, Lamjet, for the follow, and I appreciate it. I hope you like what you see here. This stream is. Oh, I am. Wow. Hold on a sec. Oh, I am Jet. I'm sorry about that. What's up, I am Jet? Can I just call you Jet, or just I am Jet? Sorry about that. I needed my glasses to see that. For some reason, I's are L's to me, apparently. Let me just explain what this stream's about. We do a lot of chatting about, you know. Okay, cool. We do a lot of chatting here. We do a lot of songwriting, production, not so much covers or anything like that. This is really just about what I do in this space that I have here. Like we release songs roughly every month. When the stream started going, oh, nice, nice. Singer, music producer, and songwriter. That's awesome. You have yourself a studio too, I'm assuming, right? Yeah, Lard and Sprout, nice. Yeah, look, my stream can get a little bit repetitive because we're always working. Oh, you make EDM combined with pop rock or pop punk, R&B, hip hop, and trap. Yeah, I like trap music, man. You know, trap music is like, when it comes to hip hop, it so often changes over generations, and it really, like, that's what kind of the stream is. We really kind of talk about stuff and intellectualize and get a little deep into it. But that the like, I grew up, I'm a 80s 90s type of kid, grew up with gangster rap a lot, and even before that was Run DMC and Public Enemy and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. I do make rock music because just want to rock out whenever I make it, for sure. Our first stream we had here, I was rocking out on a song that I wrote called Polypeoplene. And what we do here is we release. Yeah. Rockstar. But like, with hip hop, I noticed I love underground hip hop, and even trap music nowadays. It's such an indicator of the times. Like, trap music's slower, right? And we have an opioid crisis going on in this country right now, and even throughout, not only in this country but everywhere, really. It's getting bad, and the problem is solved through music. Like, I can tell, like, a lot of the music that is reflected during these reflects the time periods that we're living in, So, lean, which was the drink with, codeine based drink that a lot of trap artists sing about, it's a real thing. And so that music, the way it slows down, and it's just grinding that beat a little bit more, and even minimalizing and simplifying the melody and the grooves is so cool to me. But it's also just an indicator of what's going on right now. And like, back in the days when it was like when it was Snoop Dogg and all that, and the Yo MTV raps, and MTV would have the pool parties, it was just about fucking drinking a 40, smoking a doobie or smoking a blunt, and chilling poolside, and fucking partying, and the music was like, just kind of more like, you know what I mean? Nowadays, I'm just so inspired to old albums of Paramore, Green Day, Fall Out Boy, new album of Avril Lavigne, and etc. Also, the Chainsmokers too, and even also Charlie Puth. I don't know who Charlie Puth is. I gotta find that out. Yeah, for sure. What's funny about trap music and a lot of the new age stuff, even what's his name, Tekashi 6ix9ine and all that, it was inspired a lot by Blink-182, surprisingly. So I was reading about this. A lot of the new era, like, trap has a lot of emo rock influences, or even like hardcore influences, which is really interesting. Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too. Nice. I want to get into that. I want to check out Charlie Puth. I don't know who that is, Puth or Puth. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, if it's P, like P-O-O-T-H, or P-T-H, like an actual U. A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y. I sound so into it. But yeah, nice to meet you too. Thanks for joining the chat and following. And I'm glad we're at 30 now. We're trying to get our 50. We're trying to get affiliate status. So this stream could be, we work on songs here. Let's take a minute and throw out some of, or show you what, since you're already here. Puth, got it. I knew it. Sounds better that way anyway. Let's show you what we got here. Like, this is something we worked on yesterday. Last week was 143 week. Next week's gonna be 143 week. I don't know if y'all remember being younger days with your pagers, and 143 was basically telling your loved ones, I love you. And so I use a lot of my songs that I wrote this week were in, we wrote 4 songs. Let's just give a listen since we have this open. We have this open right now, so might as well show you what we got, show you what we're working with. Oh yeah, like Mystical. Mystical is badass. All right, let's see if my coffee. Thankfully, my amazing wife had gotten me a coffee. Perfect. Perfect. Crema and everything. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. Jimmy Kimmel. I sound like a lot of things. This is my morning voice. I just cough like fucking. I just cough like, what's his name? Chris Christopherson just now. That was a Chris Christopherson cough. Jimmy Kimmel, that's funny. I guess I got that going on right now in my morning voice. I better carry that on. Hey, everybody, how's it going? I'm Jimmy Kimmel here. We're going to talk about, things. Many things. Well, that wasn't too much Jimmy Kimmel now, was it? But hey, I'm a little goofy here. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a little quirky. Just a hint. Just a hint of quirkiness goes, but I'm glad people like that nowadays because that was kind of a new era of comedy. The quirky humor made its way into the mainstream somehow, and I'm so glad for it because a lot of us, we weird. A lot of us folks weird. I gotta wear a suit like Jimmy Kimmel though, if I put on a suit like him, maybe dropped a few inches in height, or maybe we're the same height. I don't know. It could be. He could be semi-tall, But yeah, wasn't he on the Man Show? I think he was on the Man Show before. Man, I remember the Man Show with the Adam Carolla. That was a fucking dumb show. I could never get into the Man Show. But then once, I think Jimmy Kimmel was with him on that. Once he separated and did his own thing, he was cool. But the Adam Carolla guy, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel though, he's cool as fuck. Then there's the Jimmy Fallon guy who I was talking about Jimmy Fallon yesterday. I was like, he sounds like he's always drunk, and then I even read like he is a heavy drinker, and so I was wondering if he was like drinking during his shows and stuff like that. But I know that's a big no-no. But I don't know nowadays. I don't know. I know back in the days, if you go on a movie set drunk, that the director would tell you to go home. Like Barbara Hershey. I don't know where Barbara Hershey came out of all this, but oh yeah. Why do they do the 2 Jimmys? Why can't one be James Fallon and the other one be Jimmy Kimmel? Jimmy Kimmel sounds better with Jimmy, and the James Fallon Show. But there is another James guy I think doing something. So man, so many J's. I just want to smoke them. All right, so I'll show you what, these are like acoustic sets that we did. We have some rock stuff. I can show you some of that rock stuff in a minute, but this is what we did on 143 day. Put on my headphones. I could put on the studio monitors, but I'd really love to chat. Really love to keep my options open right now on this chill Saturday morning. All right, so there we go. We'll just cut off the Spotify feed now. And let's see. Hey, let's go for a ride on the coast tonight. Baby doll, let's live it up now. Now these are all just rough songwriting ideas. And still, I gotta get these lyrics. I gotta get these lyrics down. Mama got the cancer in her belly because she forgot to live it up now. Ooh. Now, it's suicide thing. Is that living it up now? Working day and night, never living your life. It's suicide. Oh, that's that. It's not living it up now. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it there. Did I get it over here? It up now. Tell me, baby, what it up now? Live it up now, live it up now, live it, live it. Mama got the cancer in her belly. This is a better take. Because she never lived it up now. Mama never smoked and she hardly drank. Tell me, baby, what do you think? Did she live it up now? Working day and night, never living your life. It's suicide. There we go. It's not living it up now. Oh, don't you feel right? Thankful for the land and the life, and love to live it up now. I'm a victim of brutality, all because the police had to get all live it up now. Ooh. I'm a victim of brutality, all because the police had to get all livid up now. Not live it, not living it up. They were getting livid. By the way, these are songs about other, I like to write about other occurrences going on, so sometimes I'll insert myself into that situation, saying I. But let's, okay, so that was one. We're going to work on that song, but there's another one. It was I Cried. There it is. And this is a song I think I'm ready to record, but this is what we do here in this stream. We are writing songs. Sometimes we'll spend a whole week on a song, sometimes longer. We'll mix it up with other songs just to give it a little bit of different flavors going on, which I'm new to streaming, so getting into those different things and trying to, I've always known that it's always better to start slower and move up and learn as I go, and you guys get to see that. You guys get to see me, one, get better at the drums, get better at songwriting. I mean, I've been playing guitar for over 20 years. Fingerstyle, mostly Piedmont fingerstyle. But my vocals are definitely my strongest part of me, singing wise or music wise. I can play everything, but not real. I'm jack of all trades, master of none, essentially. So the drums, I got my good hip hop beats on lock, but some of the songs I wrote, like On the Road the other day, was a little hard to play a slower tempo song. But this song right here, this is another 1/4/3 tempo. Lose it. What's that? Let's see, what did I say there? Might as well capo up. Ooh, capo up. Let's just practice and do stuff, right? Let's just do stuff for a little while, and then come back to the other song for a little while, and then do stuff. I'm recording. What up, Bar Beats? Ideas in there, so I don't want to. What's going on? Let's see what we got here. Might as well. Oh, no worries. I'm gonna be changing the name to soon, so you'll see. I've so far I put a different profile picture on my Twitch up to kind of make the transition to my new name smoother. But I'm changing it from Soundbites to something else, and I've got the profile picture there, so that way you guys know it's me. Yeah, so I changed the trope. I'm doing it slowly and gradually. That way, nothing happens like, because I came up with this name. I was like, after a few months, I'm like, you know what? I want to change my Twitch name. And Twitch gives you like every 60 days to do it. So I've got like a few days left of that, and then I can make the changes. But so in the meantime, I just changed my profile pic to something dark, you know, and you can see like my schnoz looks all beaten up. It looked like I just got out of a boxing match with that schnoz in there. It looks cool. I think it like the imperfections is what I kind of dwell on. But even though like even my tooth, you know, I got this bottom tooth here, and I never want it to be straight. I always want to be picking food out of it because I like its crookedness. I don't know. It's just not perfect. You know what I mean? I guess it goes along with that whole anti-perfectionist motif. Is that even proper to say that? But yeah. But this is something I wrote on 143. This is 143 month, I guess. 143 was what we used to text each other when we wanted to say I love you without losing any characters in that text message. Boom, somebody knows they love you when they would get that 143. So anti-perfectionist, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yep. That's what Eyes the artist is the one who came up with that. At least that's what at least that's where I'm coming from on that. Maybe one of you guys came up with it first, but I noticed it on Eyes the artist, on his Twitch stream, which is really cool. We're kind of a niche group of people that produce music on Twitch. You know, there's a lot of people like that do. That's Eyes. Yeah, I knew it. There's a lot of people that do covers and stuff like that, which I'm not. You know, maybe I should learn more covers. It would behoove me to probably learn more covers or something like that. But I'm also hearing covers that are completely different. Like they're playing a completely different melody and they're singing. They're doing the lyrics. You know, so maybe that's where I might go. You know, like doing a cover but my own version. You know, once I can learn how to play. Uh, but for the most part, what we've been doing is like producing songs on the Twitch, you know, in our DAWs. As you can see, this is kind of the hybrid setup we got going on over here. Got the Burl. That's the as you can see, the Burl converters right there. Those are the A to D converters. Those are the real deal. I mean, most of Jimi Hendrix's all the recently mastered stuff done by Eddie Kramer. If you guys have heard of Eddie Kramer, is big time mixing artist, producer. He's legendary. Thanks, man. The Burl, that's this right here. These are my A to D converters. They can be built up. These are like empty slots that can be filled in. These are the Burl preamps. They're all analog. And you know, here's my other preamps, the UA and the Focusrites. But the Burl converters, one of the biggest differences between buying these converters, which were made in Santa Cruz, California, manufactured in Santa Cruz, California. So they're the real deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, look at all pudgy with my sitting in the chair. I really hate fucking sitting, by the way. So there's like 8 channels, so 8 inputs. That's total 16 inputs for now. I can always build it up to like 40 or 32. I'm going to go 24. That's my golden number. And then outputs. I've got 16 outputs, but eventually I'm going to go 32 outputs. That's the goal. And then one of these days get a nice Neve 5088 large format console. That's my dream. But I know this is doable for now. Doing the 16 in or the 20 inputs and 32 out. And then 32, my 16 outputs right now are going into this, my analog summing mixer. Both of these, by which hitting this and recording this is like literally recording, not literally, but it's analogous to recording to 2-inch tape. 2-inch tape on a Studer A800 tape deck. So that's what Rich Williams from Burl Audio did, thousands of hours of painstaking work to try to match up with that that sound, the Neve sound. Basically, that's what Burl is kind of modeled after, their sounds basically after the Neve consoles. I'm not too sure on which console. He does talk about it in like a Tape Op interview with him, and Sound on Sound has an interview, I think, with him where he talks about the Neve sound, and He used to work in like, Silicon Valley as a programmer. He first worked for Universal Audio, and he developed the Universal Audio 2192, which is essentially mastering grade. It's a B32, not a B32, a B1 bomber. That's their mastering grade converters. These are all mastering grade as well. But I go out of these. The difference between these and what you would buy at the, is the components. Most of the stuff we buy, like the UAD or the UA Apollos or Focusrite interfaces, most of those don't have, they're just op amps, and their components are pretty much the same across the board for them as with a PreSonus or with a Midas or any other A to D converters out there. What this company does differently is they make their own op amps, not to mention each channel input has a transformer, and the transformer is fucking like this big. It's so big, and it's wound, proprietary wound. So Rich Williams, they made their own transformers. They are, I think, copper, but there's differences. And so the B1, even the inputs for the preamps, the B1s are nickel wound transformers, and the same BX5, I feel, or similar BX5 transformers, still pretty big and chunky, and the op amps are proprietary, I believe. And so the difference between this preamp and the four over here, there's the B1Ds and the B1s. The B1Ds are iron wound. There's an iron wound transformer, which gives it a little cleaner tone. So I like to use that on like bass guitar, electric guitar, keys, synths. Even my, channel 5, it's a clean, it could go in either or. I can use that ribbon microphone that's back here, the AEA A440. You can use that thing on both. I like using it on the B1Ds because I generally like the B1s preamps for drums. And for drums, I generally go about a 4 mic setup with my drums, so I don't like to go crazy with that because of, one, phasing issues, two, I got my, I'm stuck. There you go. Had my microphone or my headphones stuck. Got my headphones stuck in there, yo. Anyways, yeah, and I got some RNC, really cheap, like $150 outboard analog compressors, and I use these. There's two of them. They're both stereo, so I use two of them because of the gain staging. On the front end, they're not really, their compressors are analog. They do their thing. Once they go into the burl, if I had enough money, I'd get one of those Acme Opticom LA2A clones, which is actually like an LA2A on steroids. I would use that for bus compression or parallel compression. But I like these, and I still use these in the future. I use them for parallel compression most of the time, and mostly on drums. And it's not to try to really make the drums sound thicker. It's more to tame them. So I'll have the 4 channels of the drums, typically 4 to 5 channels for the drums, and I will play those alongside, like parallel compression, hence the word, or hence the phrase. I will use these just to tame like the drum transients if they're going a little, like the snare needs a little bit more presence or something. But generally, I haven't recently. We've been nailing it right on the dot, right on the head right there. We've been really getting it right, just with blasting those, hitting the preamps as hard as I can. And I do produce professionally. Yeah, I mix other people's music. I master. Yeah, cables get caught up in the wheels. I wish. And the problem with the wireless or the Bluetooth, at least to this point, from my knowledge, is the latency and the dB correction. It's about 4 dBs less with the Bluetooth. And so in a tracking situation, cables are always, and I make my own cables, so except for these are obviously come stock with the Audio-Technica M50s, which are my favorite headphones. I've used Beyerdynamic. I've used those. Not a big fan. I like my Shure's. I got some Shure old cheapy headphones that I use. That they're kind of just scattered throughout the studio. I make my own cables. Yeah, it's really easy. You can go to like redco.com or pacificradio.com. There's only two companies that I know of that make bulk cable, and those are the only ones. I've searched everywhere. Maybe it's a niche market, but most of the major companies will buy through them anyway. But all of, like Redco is on the East Coast in Connecticut, and Pacific Radio's in Burbank, over around here. So Burbank, LA area, basically. And so both are good. Both you could buy bulk cable from. I will buy the Mogami 2549. I won't buy the quad core mics or cables. Those are just too much. Nice, nice. Nice. Yeah. So then Pacific Radio is right up your alley probably. It's a great place if you want to buy cables in bulk. And then soldering is really simple. I mean, you go to Van Nuys and go to Edson and Van Nuys. They make the best soldering irons. I tried the Home Depot soldering irons and they suck. Had to return it several times, but Edson makes a really good soldering iron. It's a little pricey up front, but you're saving. Like honestly, the cables for when I built the studio were like the unseen hidden cost. It was like they can go up to 10 grand in just your cabling if you don't like plan your routing right. And so I was like, it was about like I guess maybe up to 3 grand rather building my own cables. Built lots of guitar cables, built lots of instrument cables, and built lots of XLR line level cables, just because you need a lot in case one breaks, then you can replace with another. But generally now have not had any issues breaking them. And then the patch bay, you buy a patch bay online, they're super expensive, especially when they are DB25 or D-sub connections. And those, by the way, are really hard to solder. The D-sub connections, not the patch bay. Patch bay, if you're OCD like me, can get a little. Did I do that one right? Did I do that one? But you just got to run your tests later. And I've got like I don't have very skinny fingers. They're kind of. You know what I mean? I got smaller hands than a guy. That's why playing guitar is a little bit difficult. And I can't like walk the fretboard like somebody with longer fingers. But I watched something like the guitarist for AC/DC. He was talking about he's like a little guy and he had little hands and stuff like that. It was really hard for him to do certain things. So people would see him do like this crazy moves with his guitar. He's like, I wasn't trying to be crazy. I was just trying to reach over and I have to do that with my body. And it was like, but look at how fucking good his stuff was, right? I mean, legendary band. I mean, I don't listen to them often or anything, but I was just watching the interview and I was like, oh, wow, okay, So, yeah, so the patch bay, it's fun to learn how to solder too, because you learn your routing scheme, you learn what if something goes wrong, how to fix it. The patch bay is a really great way for deductive reasoning. Essentially, like you can narrow down what the problem is by using your patch bay. Oh, it's not the patch. You patch something into a different channel or a different preamp, and you know that it's not that channel, that line. And many of the times it'll be like a connection that maybe I was sometimes on some occasions, especially like with headphones or something, the patch bay, like a connection will sever. And that was probably my soldering work. But for the most part, everything's pretty solid in there. But yeah, because sometimes, the cables, when you're pulling the patch bay out and dusting it out and cleaning everything on like, fill days and clean days, you end up finding a lot of things like dust and maybe little like shreds of copper getting in between, causing some issues or something, touching another channel. So you get in there and clean it all out with your dental picks and stuff like that. And yeah, that's the way I go with the patch. But I also so on the professional note, I've mixed people's music. I've done some documentary work, uh, and the extent of recording local bands. Kind of stopped recording local bands. One, because I have kids, so it would be really hard to get people in here to record. Two, I've had some some interesting people come over, and I'm like, okay, I don't want that now. I got to have a spot literally out in town, so we can just have anybody come in and out who wants to record. But I really love recording. The recording end of things is probably, other than songwriting, is one of my favorite things to do. Mixing on this system is pretty easy when it comes to a band who knows what they're doing, especially a band who has all of their sounds, their tones, everything dialed in. Mixing is and recording is so much fun for people who are already set up and ready to go. Um, but like even remote mixing, I use the yeah, I'm a new day. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. I hope it was all that you expected or didn't expect. It's fun. It's like fills you up with lots of joy that you didn't know you had. Um, and I love it. Yeah, and especially with drums. I mean, like yeah, we treated this room. I filled the walls, built the walls up with Roxol, and the Roxol's like rock wool. You can buy it at Home Depot, and it has a very good sound canceling properties. Nothing's going to get rid of canceling the low end other than mass and airspace, which we just didn't have enough room to make that happen or enough money. But low end is usually counteracted with mass like sand or some thick cement wall, or airspace. And so the energy of the low, the more mass something has, and the energy of the low end, it basically just gets lost in all that mass. It's absorbed by that. But so the Roxol doesn't absorb the low end so much, but it can control and tame the reflections the low end has on the walls. So, and also the SonarWorks Reference 4 plugin, which is about $200, is well worth it for anybody having room issues, including myself. I use it all the time. Yeah, but a new thing. Actually, quit my day job to be start home. Yeah, yeah. Oh, hell yeah! It's like $3,000-4,000 a month for daycare. It's like crazy. So that's why I couldn't afford that. It's like a mortgage, man. It's fucking just more than a mortgage in my case, But like, yeah, I know how you're. Yeah, it's just fucking crazy. And LA is expensive. It's always been, like, um, yeah, I'm doing that too. The stay-at-home dad thing, and then at nighttime I'm streaming, working on music, and then during the summers, my wife's a teacher, so she has the summers off for the most part. So that's it's basically getting in the studio as much as I can during the summer, but also hanging out with the family as much as you can too. So it's a hard balance. I'm shooting for the morning hours though. Lard and Sprout. Your friend paid $1,600 a month just to hold a spot. No, not kid, but in the whole, just to hold a spot. Yeah, that's insane. It's like a retainer fee, like only rich people can afford that, or people that can afford that. I just like, yeah, no way, not us. But yeah, I do also mix remotely. I want to get the stream going to where I can collaborate remotely. We use either Discord to send files, but also in the yeah, oh yeah, waitlist during pregnancy. Oh my God. Oh wow. Yeah. You got to also make sure that that hospital isn't owned by a private equity firm, because they've got a hold on every single struggling business out here throughout the country. It's really, really scary thing, the private equity firm. So I even asked my kids, the pediatrician, if they're owned by a private equity firm. My mom, when she died of cancer, she was the hospital she was at. I found out like a few weeks ago that it while she was there undergoing chemo, um, she was the place she was at was at the time was bought out by a private equity firm. and I'm wondering why, or maybe that's why the care for her care was just so minimal, and the chemo was so maximum because they wanted to make money off chemo. But I was just wondering if that had anything to do with her not surviving, because much later in 2018 or 17 or 16, the hospital was bought by another company that was not a private equity firm. So the firm sold it off, sold the assets off to another firm. They didn't liquidate the hospital, but they must have sold off a lot of assets, or sold it at a very, very expensive rate and got the private equity firm got their money. That what they do with hospitals and emergency rooms is just disgusting. I don't know how. I guess they say somebody's got to clean up the mess, but I guess that's what vulture capitalism is, where you got to clean up a mess, but strip it down of all its assets, liquidate, sell off, and then have that real estate, you know. But hey, there's a book actually. It's called "These Are the Plunderers," and Morgan Gretchenson, I think, is the name of the author, and that's a really good book about the whole private equity firm, destroying basically mom and pops in America, and probably even throughout. Yeah, no worries though. It's all good. Yeah, many people had to probably go through that too, I'm sure. So I'm not alone in all that. But yeah. So we have some ideas here. This is let's see if I can play this one real quick. And this is about so a lot of my songs are written about social issues, things that go on, war, quantum physics. I love all that stuff. It's just so backwards here. Yes, it shouldn't be a business. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of, I see a lot of streamers from Canada, and they talk about their system and stuff like that too. So it's interesting because there's a lot of Canadian streamers out there. I've noticed. It's like more than I thought there would be. It's interesting, especially like the song producers in the morning industry. Like I'm like, that's interesting. So this song's called "I Cried." This is my 1/4/3 tempo. It's 1/4/3 I Love You tempo month, I guess we'll call it. But we've been writing songs in this tempo. It's a nice little tempo, and it just shows you love the 1/4/3. It's that whole love text messaging code back in the days, or not even text message, pager, when we had pagers. But here it is.
Lose it.
Hey girl, where you going? That's my vocals. Just do some. Hey girl, where you going? As you can see in the mix here, everything's pretty much unique. She said, I'm going to my second job. I'm gonna do my body some wicked harm, and I don't want to. Everything's roughly at 0. And I asked her why. Reason I have everything at 0 too is because I'd like to record like I'm mixing. She said he makes me. And I looked at her and cried. Cry. Hey guy, going? Hey guy, where are you going? He said I'm going to my corporate job. Needs like some violin or something. My body some wicked harm, and I don't want to. And I asked him why are you causing the people such wicked harm, Joe? He said he loves money. I don't know why I thought Joe there. I guess because he's like a regular Joe or something. I don't know. Should have said Bob. Could have easily said Bob. I like Joe though. Thank you, thank you. This one's the tearjerker right here. Hey kid, where are you going? Hey kid, where you going? He said I'm going to get my daddy's gun. I'm gonna cause the school some wicked harm, 'cause I want to have some fun before I die. And asked him why, oh why. He said he had no reason other to settle a score made online, and then I cried. Gotta work on that. I cried. I cried. Ooh, I broke down and cried. Yeah, for sure. I'm getting the chills right now. Definitely needs some work, but it's once I change these strings, maybe on Saturday, tomorrow, or tonight. Hey, psychopath. Where you going? They're everywhere. 1 out of every 100 hey, in America, roughly, maybe even more now. Where you going? I'm going to show people my charm. He said he's gonna cause these people said wicked harm because he wants to. And he why? Whoa. He said it gives him pleasure. Oh boy. I turned around and cried. Ooh, ooh, I cried. I walked away and cried. Ooh, I cried. I turned the corner and cried. Down and cried. I broke down and cried. I broke down and cried. There it is. Okay, I said the lyrics wrong on that. I write my lyrics down here. This is where I went into something else. I was just like, all right, that's a songwriting idea. See how I kind of, oh. That's an idea right there. See, did I put some lyrics? I did. You feel, what you feeling and do, do. Okay, that was cool, but I did write something else here. Is this something else I wrote? Yeah, that. What you would love, what you would love. Yeah, I do that. I give, my music is, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's deep, it's dark, it's, you know? Let's see. Okay, so this is what we did. This song was inspired by, this next one was inspired by The Sopranos, the TV show The Sopranos, and the opening credits had this cool song by Alabama 5. It's an English band out of Liverpool that sounds totally an American fucking, first of all, Alabama. Second, the way he sings is totally like, you wouldn't guess that they were from the UK at all, but apparently they are, and they're damn good. And I was like, I was listening to this song and I was like, I want to write a song about a killer. So I wrote a song about a killer, and here it is. It took me forever. This is like the hardest drum so far. I mean, the other song, Polypeople was faster. It was like the house beat. Tom York, dude, for sure. I say Tom York and Chris Martin, especially in my song American Made. Here, I'll go to that real quick. There's my Tom York. It's like Tom York. There's a part of the song where, if you remember the song Paranoid Android by Radiohead, there's a part in that, and here, I'll play it. So he's like, that sunset, you're leaving the crackle of pigskin. Yeah. And then I didn't steal those lyrics, but I took that style that he had going on in there and then blended it with a little Muse. Muse is another good band from back in the day. And where is it? I'll show you real quick, because I kind of wanted to show you that part. We'll fast forward it to that part. A minute, scrolling for other. Right there. Those drums, right? Here's that Tom York Radiohead thing. And this is where I lose it on stage. I'm throwing guitars now. Throwing shit. What else can I throw? Yeah. Beavis. Yeah. And then it's like that song, I go completely nutsoid on. I saw some girl streaming the other day. I think it's like Ray Music or something. And she has an awesome stream, by the way. I really enjoyed watching her. She's from Canada too, another streamer from Canada. But she like during her little segues into, or she would like get like something, and she would get up from her station, which many people don't do, and she cuts to a different area of her room, and she starts beating up Pikachu, her stuffed Pikachu, and I'm like, no, Pikachu, he's not even a Raichu, he can't take it yet. It was funny. But she's like beating up. I need some stuffed animals to beat up in here, but they're all my kids, and I don't want to beat up their stuffed animals. They'll get mad at me later on if they see that on a video. Dad, what are you doing? Why are you beating up Puppy? But, you know, like, sorry, I just got influenced by somebody else doing it. Is this how you're supposed to do things on Twitch? You're supposed to beat up your stuffed animals. Well, she started it, but yeah. You know, I got to position myself right to get a good raid going. I know that's what also part of this whole strategizing and getting followers is not only building the communities. Like I built a lot of followers just even by chatting. You know, not a lot. Look what I got, 30. But I built some, or at least many, at this point, just by chatting and streams. And then, but now my new strategy is like I want to be available, and that's probably not going to be today because we got to cut out a little bit earlier than usual. Usually 5 hours is a Saturday, you know, we'll do a 5-hour stream, but I got to cut out a little earlier than usual today. But I want to position myself well enough to be in scope of another streamer's, you know, finishing up, especially one of these big streamers. They're, you know, you introduce yourself in their chat, make yourself known, they know your name, boom, 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 say something funny, say something they like to hear. Like the other I was talking about like Ableton Live. We were talking about DAWs with this really big streamer, and I said I love Analton, and I meant it was a typo. You know, it wasn't. I didn't mean to say Analton, but oh yeah, me too. I'm learning, and I'm like just built my panels and got that all set up, and now I got to do all the bells and whistles when somebody. I used to have like when somebody followed me. Now, for some reason, I put that owned plugin in, and I've never been able to. I got to get rid of that plugin for like where it says I got new followers, because I had this cool one from fucking Streamlabs, and that fucking it was a dinosaur. Every time somebody followed me, a dinosaur would pop up in the middle of my screen. I thought that was so cool, or whatever animal you want, but I chose the dinosaur. But you know. Yeah, I like being new to streaming. Like, so I get in there and I said something that I said Analton on accident. I was like, I meant to say Ableton, but it was a typo. Uh, oh yeah, for sure. I think that's 99% of streaming though, is being responsive to the chats and chatting, no matter what the stream is. If it's music, if it's games, I think the chat is the most is where it has to be. You know, it's the most important component. It's more important than even the music that I've created. That's kind of what I've come to learn. People want to be acknowledged. People want to be a part of stuff, and people want to when somebody's talking in a chat, people want to be responded to. And there's some other streamers out there that don't respond to their chats at all. And especially a lot of the ambient music streamers, which I get. There's this one guy who has a mask on, and he's just totally dark and ominous, or whatever. Not ominous, but like, you know what I mean? I guess that's the right word. But like, the wisdom I got recently is to watch people with the same amount of followers, viewers as you have. Yeah, and it's hard, man. It's one of the most difficult things I've ever kind of experienced so far. Like Instagram is one thing. I really can't stand Facebook or Instagram, especially because their owner is a fucking douche face, you know. But it's but with the big ones, I said instead of Ableton, I said Analton on accident. She thought that was hilarious, so she remembers me now. She remembers like that guy's the one who typoed Analton instead of Ableton, and she thought it was so funny. And I was like, oh, thank God she didn't think that was like cruel or anything, because that was a total typo, and it was funny, you know. And another person, I'm like, we got this bar soap thing going on, so I guess kind of It is a great typo. I guess like I guess what I mean is like make yourself I guess memorable, I guess in a good way. Like I don't want to sometimes I talk too much and I get kicked off because I'm like talking too much. So I got to remind myself to put the brakes on when I'm chatting, you know? But like I don't know, like uh it's just I don't know. I have no magic formula either, but I figure just kind of putting yourself out there and um a lot some of these chats they'll be like no self promotion and all that stuff and I'm like uh, it's like I don't know about that. Like come on. Self if somebody wants to self promote and they're good, why not, it's not only about you, but like but some don't like the self promotion. They've got a lot of people on their stream, so I bet you there's a lot of vultures out there, just trying to pick the bits and ride off another person's gravy train. I get it. I get it. Maybe they're just fed up and they just got to let everybody know what their expectations are, which is also a good thing. I don't want to there's goods and bads, so I don't want to hate on their process of doing things. I guess if I was Canadian, I'd say process, but over here in the States, we say process. Process. You know? I like process. I like that. I also like saying sorry now. I don't say sorry anymore. I go sorry. Canadians are getting to me, man. They're making me talk like Canadians. I do a lot of impersonation. Hey, I'm my Christopher Walken. I'm still working on it. I'm walking around. I saw Natalie Wood over there on the boat. I pushed her off. I think there's a bit of an etiquette with self-promoting on other streams. Yeah, but you can self-promote in a subtle way without spamming. Yeah, that's true. The subtleties, and that's what you got to try finding the subtlety, the balance. Some people their mods are just straight freedom of speech squashers. I'll tell you, but I get it, and I get it. There was this one stream I was like, oh, no, I don't even want to get into those other streams, but like, this is the song I did that was, see, this is that rock song I did, Polypeople, where. So those are the extent of my rock drums right there. Oh, it's cold. That was the extent of one of my hardest core songs so far up to date, Polypeople. It's about plastic, about, us being completely inundated with it and there's nothing we can do about it. And it saves lives in medical situations and it kills lives in other situations. So it's a great endocrine disruptor, but I love the song. It's one of my favorites so far, that and American Made. I mean, I have my favorites, but here's On the Road. And it's like about a killer, and it's got that Jim Morrison vibe. It's got that Alabama 5 from the beginning, opening credits of Sopranos, and yeah, here we'll play this one for now because we kind of just finished editing the drums of this. Look at all the editing work. By the way, none of these have been quantized. I do not like quantizing if I can get away with it. I like nudging. I'm a big old nudger here. It takes a lot longer. But I mean, if you have these 4 on the floor style beats, as you can see, there's a lot of 4 on the floor going on here. Or maybe, is that a 4 on the floor? Yeah. So we got a lot of 4 on the floor style going, beats, which is great. but it also is a shin killer when you're trying to moderate the hi-hat. And I bought these drums from a buddy. He sold them to me before he moved to Oregon for $250. This is a Tama Star Classic Japanese birchwood set. You can't find. If I were to get new drums though, I would get Sugar Percussion. That's on my list. Hopefully the wife will let me one day spend that kind of money on drums, but why not, right? They're badass drums, and we got to save some money or just go into more debt. That's just basically it. Debt is good. Debt is good. I love debt. So yeah, comfortably in debt. Not so comfortably, but but like it's just no way around it. Yeah, so those drums are badass. The snare is just a cheapo, it's not a Tama snare. I used to have a Tama, like their rendition of the Ludwig Black Beauty, but I have you're called my wife. I always gotta ask for budget and prepare my adjustment. Hell yeah. There's like that one Instagram. How much was it? They gave it to me. How much was it? They gave it to me. How much was it? They gave it to me. But here's that's so funny. I love that. That's like one of the few Instagram things I like. But here we go with On the Road. And this song, by the way, I wrote this song first on the Native American flute. This is a flute that I built out of red cedar, with being mentored by an actual Algonquin tribe member over on the East Coast. I think that's where the Algonquin tribe is, and yeah, so he mentored me and basically was over my shoulder, helping me build this correctly. It's red cedar, and then this is the top here is I tried a red cedar, but it was too soft. Birdie they call this, but this is a persimmon wood, which is really hard wood, and it's a really lovely hardwood. It's also lovely hardwood is loquat wood, and I have a loquat tree in my backyard, and the wood is a very nice hardwood, which is very rare apparently to get. So I'm rich, bitch. But check this out. All right, here we go with on the road. See, that's what I did. I started it off with the flute. I always try to start off the drums with a little hi-hat. But this song was after many practices, finally my shins are fine. But it was a shin killer. It gave me shin splints. A little hi-hat was a little slow there, though, right? That's like just right there. It was a little bit of just a little bit going on there that I don't like. So I'm gonna just do some nudge work there. It's almost like a little too fast there. Oops. It's almost too fast there. And then too slow. It just sounds a little bit. Let's go a little closer. I'm not trying to be a robot or anything and make it sound too robotic. That's another thing I don't want to do. But let's see that there. Let's bring this back a little. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see what oh yeah, we got oh my God. We'll start it there. And bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Oh yeah. And this one might need a little bit of nudge work there. I can't believe we're still on the editing phase of this sometimes. It's like one of those songs I just cannot finish. Let's see. That's better. It was just a slight little delay in that, There we go. It's one of those old school fucking dive bar, smoke a cigarette, smoke-filled room style songs, you know? The difference between this and my other drum songs too is the drum sound far away. There's the didgeridoo. There's that didge right there. Oh, you guys aren't even hearing this. Sorry. I had it off the... My bad. My bad. Totally my bad. Oh my God. I'm so sorry about that. You didn't even hear what I was playing. My bad, my bad. So here's the didgeridoo. I had it... I forgot I had it in mixing mode. So I lost probably half of my viewers just because of that. Sorry about that. Shit. See, that's a didgeridoo that I actually played. Had it pointing towards the floor. It's the best way to record it. Because holding that thing up, one, it's fucking heavy. I actually bought it in Australia when I was out there. In Darwin. What a place to be. Darwin's where Mick Dundee was living. But here we go. On the road. Yeah, let's start that from the top. I'm sorry you guys didn't hear that. I was like showing you, talking to you, but not playing it. What a busta. So this song was like literally started off. I started with the flute, as you can see. 4 little flute things here. And then, oh yeah, like the didge, you point it at the floor, sometimes even in the corner of the floor where there's a 90-degree split between the floor and the wall, and you point it right there and you put the microphone right at that spot, you'll get a nice bassy tone. But sometimes the didge, especially with a song like this, where you always have the bass guitar kind of already going in, the didge just acts as kind of a tribal thing, you know, but... Oh. And yeah, so now let's go here. That's how it starts. And this, like I said, it's kind of one of those smoke-filled room, fucking cutthroat bar jams, you know? On the road. There we go. Let me lower it a little so I can talk over it. Was a friend. Who knows how? Who knows when? Also, using that microphone on the didge is that's the key to the didge. Is a good ribbon. Even a Royer 121 or Cole. He's on the road again. Soups. There we go. See, the didge is just slightly in there to give it a wildness. Actually, that didge was somebody in the chat when we first started doing this. That didge was somebody's recommendation. I believe Flockwind. East and west and wind. Tell us where you've been. I love that guitar right there. It's like Violent Femmes. Whoa, what happened there? Is that real? Whoa, what happened there? You know what happened there? I'll tell you what happened there. Hold on a second. Uh-huh. Let's bring up my buffer size real quick. I think that's what it was. Let's see. Yeah! Oh, yeah! That's what it was. Because I was running that RX7 declip plugin, as you can see here on the SM7. There was some clip in there, and I didn't want to take it out because I really liked it. It was natural, so I just put that RX7 declip. But that RX7 is a soul sucker when it comes to RAM and CPU. And so, and I was playing this whole thing at pretty low buffer size, which is pretty amazing. I don't use a lot of plugins, as you can see here. Not really a lot going on in plugin world. A lot of stock EQs, and when I want some character, I'll use my UAD, like the Neve 80AR-S here, that one, and I use that on my guitar bus, just to give it a little Neve, more Neveness, more univeness. It's very univeness. Trying to pretend. Even there is a little hot still. Just needs to be like literally, just needs to be a little, let's see, a -8. Let's just try -8.9. Let's see. Just even a little bit, maybe 9.2. Let's see where it goes. Stop trying to pretend. Yeah! Oh, yeah! There we go. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! On the road again. Oh boy. You like that? There's some drum and bass right there. I fucking love drum and bass and jungle music. I just love it. If I play drums, I default to drum and bass and hip hop when I'm playing my drums. That's what I like, the old school hip hop, you know, fucking lo-fi drum sound, but like I default to the drum and bass sound sometimes. I just love it. I don't know why. I gotta throw it in there. Here I go. Right, here we go. Throwing a little tom there. Because I'm a tomboy. Stop trying to pretend. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Okay. The song's starting to sound, it's starting to come together. And I was like thinking, should I add more? I could add like some like choirs. I always like to throw some choirs in there, but this song is such a like dive style, smoke-filled room, stripped down version of what I normally do that I might just keep it as such, you know. I don't know. And the drums are like my other songs. If you listen on Spotify, of the Willow Tree on Spotify, you'll find that the drums are very forward. There's even some songs like South to North where I actually pan the drums from a drummer's perspective, and many recordings will do it from the listener perspective. If you hear most of the time, especially on a setup like this, if the ride's on my right, then it's going to be on the left side, the left speaker. so I'm a pan left for the ride because it's from the listener's perspective. But I've done it both ways. There's a more focused sound when you do it from the drummer's perspective, and it either way works. But in most cases for mixing, the drums will be panned to the listener's perspective, which is the opposite of what the drummer's hearing, basically. And so this song also is, I wanted to make the drums distant, like almost not there, but where the kick drum is getting some love. And I didn't want a punchy kick drum. I wanted kind of a bassy kick drum. So I used the 440 in the mix here as my, so you can see my D112 is my inside of my kick. And my kick drum's so long. It's like, it's such a, I don't know if you can see, but look how long it is. I would really like to get a 24-inch, or, half of this basically. And I don't want to get these cut. So many people recommended not to cut these drums because they're Japanese birch Tama Star Classics, which you can't find anymore. I tried, these were bought by my friend who sold them to me on Craigslist. He bought them from Craigslist, then sold them to me when he moved. He has a couple sets. I can't find a 16-inch Star Classic tom. I use a 14-inch tom, but for the room that I have, that's fine. And you can always tune lower on those 14-inch toms. It actually, the birch wood just handles it very well. And I'm using the focused, not, what is it called? Oh, I forgot. Oh, bother. The Remo heads, but they're for focused. I think there's like a black dot in the center, and it's just like for focusing for studio recording. And so, same with that snare. If you look at the snare, this is what I did to make it sound really nice and like out there. As you can see, I took out a lot of that 200 there. And if we play the drums, wanted to kick up some 500 there on that snare. If I mute that, listen. See, you don't hear it as much. It's like not as cracking. It's not cracking as much there. But when I put on the, see, bringing out a little bit more brightness and crackiness on the snare. I don't like to work in the 3K range, but that's where that snare was kicking it. So and then no reverb on anything other than the snare. I was going to put a delay on there, and then on my drum bus, there's nothing. You see, there's no limiters. There's no, as you can see, there's no limiters. There's nothing on the drum bus. I mean, the drums are, this is just it's really what it's all about is every time I click my screen, it changes my scenes back to the original, which is something that happened with my update of OBS. But as you can see here, not much going on. There's only EQs on the kick mic, as you can see here. I'll bring this over here to the mix window. But as you can see, this is my A440 ribbon mic. I just did a solid bump at 60 hertz around there. That's what gave it that low end thump. As you can hear, maybe I can show it to you just normal without. And listen to that. I mean, that's the room. That's the AEA 440. I like the way it's actually, I don't mind the bleed at all. And then when you compare it with the rest, let's take the phase off. A little bit more bass when it's phased. I mean, you can see the EQ settings even right here too, and adjust them as needed, but that's kind of small. The Studio One does that just so it can show you what you're dealing with without having to open up the plugin. But nothing else going on here. See how that kick is not even just giving me, the inner kick is not doing much for me, but it's just doing something, you know? Just giving me a little bit. And then my overheads, that's my right side. And I don't know if you know the mic technique I'm using on that. Maybe I can give you a good. So as you can see, right over the Sabian ride over there, I have a KM184 Neumann, and that's angled at my. It's picking up the ride, it's picking up the toms, it's picking up the snare, it's picking up everything from that angle. But then there's another microphone directly, vertically, up and down, like just straight like a pencil, facing the snare. They're about 3 feet 11 inches from the distance of the microphone to the snare. And so that's where I have my drums set up. You know, I like this configuration. It's a Glenn Johns method of recording drums. It was used a lot with Led Zeppelin and many other artists. It's just a really natural sound for recording drums. So yeah, that's where we are with that. And I just want to thank everybody for joining in. I got to cut out now. I know it's only an hour, 40 minutes of streaming today. But unfortunately, I got other things to take care of today. And we got set up a little, we had some electrical issues with the power. It's been happening not too often, but sometimes. So we had to take care of that. And that's why we were a little late this morning on the stream. But we will be back. I think I might be back tomorrow. Thank you so much, Board Beats. Look forward to seeing you. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be back to do some work. I don't know if it's going to be a drum day tomorrow or not, because I kind of got everything set up for recording this new song. So maybe I won't stream tomorrow. Maybe I will. I don't have. Do I have those? I do have them set up right now. Let's see. Let's just look at my preamp settings real quick and see if. Yeah. No. We're set up for. We should just get that guitar done as soon as possible before getting to another song, because well, we're actually getting to another song. So before doing a song with the drums, I'm thinking maybe just finish this I Cried song. And that, I don't know if that song's gonna have drums in it, but it's definitely gonna have, it feels like it needs violin or something, you know, just some legato or some vibrato, just slight vibrato in the song, you know, just where the points where it's kind of, where you going, like just kind of making a cameo every once in a while throughout the song. But I was, you know, for not doing much today, and other than we got a nice little chat stream going. That was beautiful, and I actually really enjoyed chatting. So, especially about audio and everything, you know, social stuff and science and quantum physics. Even I'm fucking a nut about that stuff. By the way, it's like I go to bed with that stuff playing. Just so calming, and black holes are so cool. So, anyways, but we could talk black holes. Come tomorrow or Monday. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I will talk to you either tomorrow, but for sure on Monday at 8 a.m. Shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. I wish he could join the stream. That'd be funny. Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and you have a good day too. All right, guys, chiming off.